My name is Julia Heiss. I work for the section of Education for Sustainable Development at UNESCO in Paris. And among other issues related to disaster risk reduction, we focus our work on education for disaster risk reduction because we think that's an important strategy to promote, to support strengthening resilience and recovery from disasters. The Yoga Framework for Action supports education in one of its priorities, recognizing that education and awareness raising are important approaches to building a culture of resilience. The framework also suggests that education for disaster risk reduction should be framed within education for sustainable development, and that's the approach we are taking on that issue, which gives it a kind of a more long-term perspective in approaching the issue of disaster risk reduction within education programs. The main objectives of education for disaster risk reduction are to save lives, first of all, also to equip education systems to resume education and to prevent interruptions. And as a third area, of course, to lower the impact, economic and social cultural impact of disasters. What clearly came out of a panel discussion we had here, the IDRC on education and disaster risk reduction, organized together with UNICEF and the participation of major NGOs working on the issue, was that we have to strengthen education systems as a whole, which means to look at infrastructure, to strengthen the facilities, school buildings, infrastructures of education, make them disaster safe. To look at the management system of an education system as a whole, involve disaster communities at the national level, local level, as much as education authorities, but also teachers and parents, so that they can work together on, for example, contingency plans, early warning systems. And as a third and very important area for us, to work on education programs and see how we can integrate disaster risk reduction into curriculum. We had commissioned, UNESCO and UNICEF have commissioned a study that we launched during the event here at Davos, which reviewed 30 countries to see how they have integrated education into curricula. They looked at not only the different subject areas and how disaster risk reduction was introduced in either disciplinary or interdisciplinary form, but also at assessment, at learning outcomes, pedagogies used, and professional training of teachers. The study, I'm showing it quickly, came to the conclusion that there are quite interesting examples to be found in all the 30 countries. Very often just sporadical integration in form of a pilot program or extracurricular activities. But it also showed that if we want to achieve a broad integration of disaster risk reduction in school programs and curriculums by 2015, a lot of effort is still needed.